All right. I had just started on this and decided that maybe it would be interesting to stream, see if anyone else is fussing with this game on a Sunday afternoon. So, my goal here is to build a carrier for these fighter bays, and I want to do a logistics system to supply those with resources and yeah, just fussing with this. So let's see here. So I'm going to do kind of a Star Trek shape on this and probably put some deflectors up front and get my keyboard in the right mapping. All right. Let's put some nice edges here. Is that actually going to work? Better. Take that off. And maybe, do I want to move those up? Yeah, I think I want to move those up. Okay, so let's add to the hole here. That's going to be floor. Oh, I think I know what I want to do here. Okay. So I don't want to erase that, but I do want to, here, let's see. Okay, that's legal. Move that back. Okay, I can't quite see the bottom of my screen, so I kind of have to guess where the where some of those buttons are. One thing that gets frustrating with the ship editor here is that to hop back and forth between draw and erase, sometimes it's not obvious which mode you're in, and yeah, just gets a little troublesome. Okay, so now let's put the deflectors there. Yeah. Okay, that's what I want. And let's make all that floor. And I want to provide some space for expanding up here. And the logistics, I want to put, like, so I need to supply the fighter bays with, let's see, there's 4 different resources. And I want to provide those back here and use tracks to move them up into the fighter bay. And I'm going to want the loading docks back here. And on a previous ship, I had put them out at the edge, but I noticed that here, let's sorry, docking port is what I meant to say. So if you put the docking ports out here, the problem is if you got like a bunch of resources down here, and then you get like a trade shuttle coming in, but they come to the other one, then you've got crew that like have to traverse the full width of the ship. So what I want to do is have the have them back. There, and then the like a cargo area will be right here. I'll have some factory stuff there, and then yeah, this ship might be a little too big, but we'll see. When I did a very small fighter carrier earlier, I definitely noticed that the fighters get taken up pretty quick. So if you're going to do a carrier, you're going to need a lot of them. Okay. Okay, just think about how I want to do this. In fact, if for no other reason than to get rid of all the flashing lights here, I should build out at least like some of the basics of the ship. So let's do that next. Okay, I am. This is not where I want to keep these things, but I'm just going to drop just some basic stuff here. About a small tank for the fuel. Make a fuel loader. Then I'm going to need a air duct. I'll go ahead and use the oxygen loader. Let's see what the orientation is there. And I'll do a small tank for the oxygen. I'm going to need a CO2 scrubber and a loader for that. And yeah, that's good enough for now. Okay, so I need to get out of the ship editor. Create some pipes here. Fuel. Oxygen. CO2. And I'm going to need cables for all this mess. And at this point, let's go ahead and just spawn them. Oh yeah, I can spawn them here. Okay, so let's spawn some dudes. And they're going to need some fuel. I'm obviously just in creative mode here, so I can just magic these things into existence. Okay, let's create some storage areas. So, right there. Oxygen right there. Come on, dudes. Oh. Yeah, they're all dying because I forgot to give them. I guess I have to give them spacesuits here. Okay. Here we go. Now they can do some work. And there's no sense up there. Okay, they're gonna need food and water too. So we got power, and let's run some cables through the ship. So I am going to create just like a center line cable. Hook that up. And then let's do that. Okay, finally. And let's do the same thing for fuel. And these pipes and the cables can overlap. That is fine. And as soon as these are, oh yeah, now that these are powered up, I can click on this and see that I need frames, motors, processors, and then the fighter. So that's going to build a fighter. And once the fighter is built, it's going to need bullets and fuel. So I've got fuel running there. I'm going to need bullets too. So so we really need 4 resources to stock all of these. Okay, so let's get the factory stuff going back here. I might want to set the kind of finish out the hull design, because if I want to push the factory to the back of the ship, I kind of need to know where the back of the ship actually is. So, okay. Here's kind of what I had in mind. Actually, let's save here. I was going to actually probably neck this down a little further, and then sorry, why? Okay. I'm just noticing that these guys are still in spacesuits, so we probably need another air duct up here. All that stuff is organized. So if I neck this in more, and then it's going to have like the engines out here. So let's figure that part out. That is going to involve removing these. I think I'll add that back up there, just so we have one. And then I am going to erase that and kind of copy where copy what's going on up at the front. So this next down like stair steps 2 at a time until we're at this line. And yeah, it's going to be kind of like that. And then how about And so I was going to do like a forward sweep on the engine pylons. Maybe set the engines like here. And this, I was going to have neck in a little quicker. Something like that. I don't know. That ain't looking right. That is not looking right. So very highly scientific method of ship design here. Engine something like that. And there was a little game I wanted to play with the engine design too. But we'll get there in a minute. I should go ahead and start filling this in. So next down. Like that. No, sorry. That's not right. Okay, when you're in draw mode, you can right click to cancel. But if you confirmed it, then you have to hit erase. And okay. And I think I'm going to want some drone bays at the very back. Okay, this is still looking like super dorky, but Let's add a little more body. Okay, fill that in the floor for now. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna have to go with it for now. It's close enough. Okay, docking port's there, and the engines. What I wanted to do was a row of engines, and there's a way to do this in the game, adding some holes into the here. Let's figure that out now. So I'm probably gonna need more body to the engine, and then I'm gonna go in and erase. Forget exactly how many squares I need. It's something like 7. So let's do that. And spawn a okay, so if I'm gonna have the body of the engine come out like there, I need to erase just a little further back. And then I was gonna have a row of these guys. Okay, so let's erase there. So 1. So how much do I need here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. But that's going to have to include a little bit for the body there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe add 2 more. Oh, I totally messed it up, didn't I? So there's draw, hull, fill it back in, floors, stick everything, and okay, this is going to need crew access. Actually, I don't know if that needs crew access or not. Maybe it doesn't. Let's just take it off for now. And okay. we go. Now, I also wanted to put a hyperspace scoop on the front of this. So if I have another engine segment, I'm kind of getting like way up here. Maybe that's okay. Let's just try it. Race 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why can't I place that? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, do I need other floors there, maybe? Yeah, something on the floor, I guess. Okay. I can still jam the scoop on the front. And then because the crew can't get up here anyway. Okay, let's go with this. And then we're gonna have to. Okay, how do I get this taskbar out of here? Sorry, my Windows taskbar keeps coming up as soon as I try to click on any of the editor or the construction tools. Okay. Need to spawn some more engines down here. And I guess I do need to explicitly tell it that I want floor, but then I can fill it back in later, it looks like. All right, same deal there. All right, and let's get fuel pipes. Oh, okay, so the hyperspace isotopes from the scoop are going to come out that way. So I'm going to do the fuel this way. And still bring this pipe in along the back like that. And connect up there. We're going to have to do some cables. And this I can run on the inside. Finish the pipe on that. What is this fussing about? I don't know. Okay, so with some engines, we're just going to need some thrusters. And we want to place these out towards the edges where we're going to probably also some thrusters up here. Okay, I want to do just a little more hacking on the whole design here. Thrusters on this side too. See, two each side. Okay, and these need cables. There we go. Relocate a lot of this stuff anyway, and actually for power it'd be really good to have a fusion reactor back here. So let's do that. And in fact, it might be kind of cool to. Okay, yeah, sorry, kind of going down a rabbit hole here, but. And this is going to need deuterium and. Scoop, so we're going to have to run this here. I will deal more of this later. I've discovered that the pipes can run through walls, so that is pretty handy. Please get out of my way. So I'm going to put a tank and a loader for deuterium back here. Oops. Storage for deuterium there, and then let's spawn some. So I was wondering if these pylons, if I kind of cut some holes in them to kind of be with the aesthetic of the ship, and have a gap right here that would be kind of in keeping with the NX-01 from Enterprise. So let's see. This is okay. Need a bunch of power to start up the fusion reactor, so I might have to drop a few more traditional reactors in here. And again, these are going to move right over here. Going right now. Bring those online. Bring that on. All right, great. I don't know if I'm going to like this or not, so yeah, let's just give it a try. So it'd be like a gap there, then maybe come straight in for some way. And then kind of back here. Actually, I'm going to need some crew access to that. Oh, but maybe that should be around, like through here. Okay, let's cancel that. So wall. And then let's just see. That's kind of dorky, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Never mind. And we can play some games with the floors in there. But I will deal with that later. Oh, and looks like I messed up my cables and pipes there. Okay, so we're gonna have docking stuff incoming here, and I wanted to have factory back here, but yeah, there's just not gonna be room. So let's look at how we want to do this. So I wanted to bring in raw materials, which for the fighter bays are going to be metallic ore. No, actually, I don't want to do ore. I'm going to have like mining and refining being a whole separate ship. And then I'm going to have the ingots for metal, copper, precious metals, is it? Maybe here. Let's look at the recipes. So fighter bay. Okay, fighters. Frame motor processor. Okay, processor takes precious metals and copper ingots. Okay, so we definitely need those, and then we're gonna need bullets too. So right near where stuff is coming in, I'm gonna have some big crates, and actually the crates can be back here. That would be fine. And then I'll have tracks leading into a fabrication area, and then the stuff we need for the fighters themselves up here. And actually, let's do this. Okay, so if you have a track, you can have splitters, and if I do 2 sets of splitters, that will give me a distribution of items that is relatively even. Okay, so actually our storage crates are going to have to be interleaved along this axis. So let's drop down maybe a group of 4 here and a group of 4 here. And these are going to be for the 4 different resources that those fighters need. And do the same thing here. And I want to leave some room to expand this in the future, in both directions, really. So let's, okay, maybe I should move this one set in. trying to decide who's gonna get more resource starved. I'm gonna use the crew to finish taking the resources out to the fighter bays, because automating that, I have monkeyed with it, and it just yeah, it kind of becomes a mess. So okay, so those are going to be the storage crates for the end distribution, and let's get the tracks that are going to deliver those. So I'm going to put a splitter, like essentially right here. Oh, rats. Okay, I do not have room for the robot arms to take stuff off the track. I need to space these fighter bays out just a little bit more. Oh. Okay, I'm a little sad, but that's just the way it goes. Okay, so every fighter bay is going to have to move essentially out one, and I think I want to move the crew positions a little bit too. Like that. Is that what I want? So this is going to go, this one will go out 1, and this one will go out 2. And so if we look at the outside of the ship, right, there will be one gap there. This axis, I'm going to go till it's green, and then one more. I found when you're trying to put items in just like horizontal vertical rows, it can be helpful to use like keep your mouse right where it is and just use the arrow keys. Okay, I'm just gonna check the spacing here. Yeah. That's looking good. And I'll reroute all the cables and pipes here in a minute. Fortunately, the game makes that really easy. Okay, so what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. And okay, cables. So just right dragging, but leaving that center cable in place. Pipes, making the same, like right click drag. Okay. Definitely save. So now I'm going to have room for the crates and for some robot arms. So I'm going to do it like there. And okay, am I going to center bias these? Yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay. And then over here. Figure out exactly where those guys go. They're gonna, yeah, all right, kind of silly, but now I'm gonna take track up to, so I'm gonna split kind of here, take one track this way, take one track that way. And then it'll come in with another splitter. And do I want a back channel? Maybe I could take a back channel through the middle. Okay, we will look at that in just a moment. Oh, I can't have the tracks right next to the fighter bay, can I? Oh, gang, you're killing me. Killing me, man. Yeah, it's red. All the squares immediately around the fighter bay. Wow, these are really not very space efficient, are they? Well, I could have the crates on the outside, but then that's going to make a really long path to get resources toward the middle. I thought I had figured this out before. I guess I didn't. So the tracks can go right next to there. I'm trying to figure out if there's a clever way I can do the robot arm arrangement, like the arms could be on the sides there, but the tracks are going to have all four resource types. It's not going to, like, it's going to be a shared bus of resources. It's not just going to be one track per. And I did monkey with that, in fact. Let me load the game where I was fooling with that. This is what I had started with the 4 different resource types, each one on its own track, and those feeding crates. And then I had the fighter bays on the outside of that, and that does work, but it's really not space efficient. And so this was an example where I was using a shared bus. So these are crates that are supplying the resource, and they put onto this track, goes into a first level splitter. That track goes into a second level splitter, and then I'm feeding the individual storage crates. And then what I was trying to do on the bottom of that was a unload mechanism that I intentionally slowed down for the purpose of like I was trying to get balanced inventory across all these crates, but it doesn't really work, and the whole balancing thing just didn't quite fly. So there's potentially more to be done there. And then these were just some earlier, like this is one of the ones where I was just trying with a single resource to balance the resources, and you can see how some of them still get starved, but others get filled up. And then this is just testing balancing on the input side, which does work, and it doesn't have any kind of backfeed mechanism. Now the problem with this is that if a crew is unloading unevenly, then you get back to where it's just not balanced anymore. But if we had such a thing as a slow robot arm, then I think we could get into the balanced system. My efforts to sort of do a slowed system, they didn't quite work. Because like this one is really slow because this is jammed up, but these ones are not, right? So okay, so this was kind of what I started with for just trying to work out the logistics, and I decided that a shared bus would be good, but I wanted to pack it in much tighter than what's in here. So if I go back here, I think my only real solution is to space this out more. And in fact, the fighter base through the center, they would actually be fine moving in. And wait, did I mess this up? Yeah, it looks like I messed this up anyway. I messed that up anyway. Okay, so let's bring that in. Okay, yeah, kind of mess this up in several different ways. Okay, so that gives me a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gap there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I don't have any problem. Let's just keep it like that. Okay. That's good there. I think the top is actually okay. Even though I had messed up the placement before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. All right. Cables. Oops. Okay, so the crates now have 2 squares, 2 rows worth there. Let's make the top match. Oh wait, the top does match. No. All right. Now we can do the tracks and arms. Okay, so I'm going to feed in through the center here and then go out. Oh, and actually this is going to have to going. So I have to keep going. I'm going to have a bus that goes back. And then the input to the splitter is going to be there. So control right. Okay, that's going to make the splitter. And so we're going to wind up putting on to the track right here, and some of the resource, half are going to go up, half are going to go down, and anything that doesn't get put into the crates by an arm is gonna backfeed there. And we will test this here in just a moment, but go. That way. This way. I discovered that you have to exit the edit mode to be able to convert the track into a splitter. Okay, now arms. Okay, short robot arms. Into the crates. Cables for these guys. Cables for those guys. Fussing about not having any storage space for something, so let's say cargo. Okay, now the 4 resource types are bullets, motors, accessories, frames, and I want to set these so that the crew can unload, but I don't want the crew loading these because the tracks are going to load them. And I want to prioritize the crates. Okay, so I need to, and you know what, I'm going to change the order of this. The most common things are going to be the bullets, and so I'm going to have those towards the center. So, crew unloading, prioritize the crate. Next most common thing is going to be the frame, I think, because I think the fighters need more frames than anything else. And they added the option to multi-select, like on fabricators and stuff, but not on crates. Boy, that would be really nice right now. I'd love to just multi-select and do this once. Okay, crew unloading. Okay, now motors. Okay, that one's done. And then this is going to be the processor. Okay, now let's test what we got so far by creating input here. and some big storage crates. These are going to be set for crew loading, so loading but not unloading, because the arms are going to unload. Motors. And processors. Okay, and now let's just spawn a bunch of this. Some processors, bullets. Oh, they're going to be carrying out to the fighter bays first. Rats. Okay, how can I stop that? I'm going to unpower the fighter bays for the moment. Okay, fill up the crates. Fill up the crates. Okay, they're still putting the resources in there. Alright, whatever. While that's happening, I am going to make a loading system for the cannon. So I have one arm on each side. And this one is going to be just a very straightforward. Like this. you guys carrying the cannon shells back there? Okay, now they're going to carry it all the way back. Yeah, there's definitely some jankiness in this where the yeah, but whatever. Apparently did not connect the fuel line. Okay, so let's save this and let's see. Oh, okay. Guess I need an FTL drive too. Let's put it back here. Stations. And I'm just going to do max throttle and kind of go this way. He's got fighters too. Sorry, it looks like the audio on the game had been way too high this whole time. Apologies. Okay, so lost a couple. And let's... Oh, okay. We're out of fuel. Can't like I think once you do that first jump, then you're not in creative mode anymore. So that's why you have to save like right before going into combat. this one, I don't know if I'm gonna win. Maybe. It seems like the fighters do not do much damage at all. Oh, okay. All right. Stand corrected. To see is so the crew should be like carrying resources to that bay, and they had them right there. Okay, now why is it blacking out? Okay, engines, some. And I realize I only have one battery, but well, all right. They were able to make the new fighter pretty quick. So maybe this does have some legs. I don't know. So I'm going to stop the stream here. I think next steps would be perhaps filling out the fighter bay a little more, adding maybe 4 more on each side, and then I actually want to do the fabrication system like somewhere around here that would be supplying like processors, motors, bullets. Because I think I just need fabricators for that. And let's see, fabricators and the weapons munitions bench. And yeah, all right, yep, kind of coming along. Oh, and then I definitely need to add some compartments here to because as the ship gets damaged, it's going to be decompressing certain areas. So I think I would make this forward part have a wall, probably add like wall off the fighter bay. Tracks cannot go through walls, so I would might actually have like these 4 storage crates just oriented a little more efficiently, so that the fighter bay could really be its own single room, and then the fabrication stuff could be behind here. So yeah, maybe that'd probably be a good next plan. And then crew and engineering stuff back here. All right, I'm gonna call it here. See ya.